All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and we are back in the update 6.4 beta, APK, test build, whatever you guys want to call it. And for this video, we're going to be taking a first look at 3 of the uniforms that we're going to be getting a couple weeks after the launch of update 6.4. Now, listen to me carefully, okay? These uniforms are not going to be dropping day 1. They're not going to be dropping week 1. They're probably going to roll out week 2, 3, and 4. Just like how we saw the release of the Kamala uniform on its own week, and then after that, we got a uniform for Iceman, and then following that, we got a uniform for Storm. We're probably going to see a release order somewhere along the lines that looks like that for these 3 uniforms. We might also be getting a 4th uniform, a hidden uniform, just like how we got one for Storm that wasn't hinted in update 6.3, the APK, or even the splash page. So just keep that in mind. There may be additional uniforms coming along the lines in order to get you to spend some more crystals, okay? So you want to save as much as you can. Now let me say this, 2 out of the 3 uniforms I'm going to show you today, if they come to the live server like this, because keep in mind, everything you see here is subject to change. They can nerf anything, they can buff anything, but from what I'm seeing right now, if 2 out of 3 of these uniforms stay the same, you're winning if you buy them. And honestly, 2 of them are gonna be must buys. One of them is probably gonna piss off a lot of people, and it may make people look at Netmarble some type of way and say, hey, how come a certain type of character always gets shafted in Marvel Future Fight? So let's jump into it. The one that many people have been waiting on for almost 6 years now, well, one of the 2 actually, Blade is finally getting a serviceable uniform in Marvel Future Fight. The bad part about that is, this is the worst uniform of the update. Not just off the lot here, but off the update in general. Now, this is not to say that this uniform is pure garbage. I'm just saying in correlation to the other uniforms, from what I've seen so far, this is the worst one. This is the one that many people can easily skip over and not even like have second thoughts about it. It's unfortunate because many people have waited almost 6 years for Blade to be a character they can use in Marvel Future Fight. And I honestly want to say to the dev team, please go back and look at Blade a little bit closer and tweak him a little bit. So the uniform bonus is decent. It's not great. It's decent. 10% chain hit. He has lots of hits on his skills now. And I do think if you buy this uniform for Blade, you're going to do much more with him than you could ever do before. He's going to do World Boss. He's going to do Shadowland. I don't see much PvP value here, unfortunately. Right? However, my major complaint with this uniform for Blade is he doesn't have a heal. Well, he does, but he doesn't. And I'm going to explain to you why. So, take a look at Blade's passive, Vampire Senses. It says, activation rate. When using HP Steel buff, he removes debuffs for 5 seconds, and he increases his attack, defense, all speed, and critical rate by 25% for 10 seconds. 20-second cooldown. It's a decent 4-star passive, right? We'll come back to that later, and I'll show you guys why that's a problem, right? Next skill, well, first skill, Bleed. Nothing spectacular there. Even the animation for it, it looks cool, but it's looking more like a Shadowland skill, and we'll talk about why later on. So, second skill, he has defense down, and it applies in World Boss. So now, your Blade is actually going to be a character you can use in World Boss, whereas before, he was barely even a Shadowland character. Barely, right? Third skill, Super Armor, all defense, immunity for 5 seconds, attack buff, and it is on a 11-second cooldown, which is very good because you can see for yourself, 5 seconds of immunity, 5.5-second cooldown. You can be immune virtually all the time. Very, very good, right? That's why I'm saying this uniform is not pure garbage. It's just in correlation to the other uniforms, it's just like, wow, right? Moving on, fourth skill. We have bleed damage here. We have silence, mainly for ABX, and then we have stun, possibly for a future ABX week, okay? Moving on, we have more defense down, only stacks up to 50%, but keep in mind, Kamala, she's pretty good, and hers only stacks up to 50%. Okay, so this is really good. Additionally, he has Invincibility for 6 seconds. It's on a 17-second cooldown, so pretty long. But with Invincibility and Immunity in his kit, Blade is actually a much safer character than he was previously. Alright, so overall, very good uniform, but probably not good enough for most people considering how bad Blade was and for how long he was bad. Most people were hoping that Blade would be like top tier when he got a uniform. This is very, very good, but I wouldn't say top of the line, top tier. Now, I went through all of this with you, and you see Blade is a vampire, half vampire, right? And you notice in his skill set, nowhere here does it say anything about Blade being able to heal. Why is that? Why is that? Doesn't make sense to me. Please, somebody in the comment section, tell me what I'm missing. Maybe I'm overlooking it. Maybe I'm going blind in my old age here, but I don't see no type of heal because we cannot say that this is justifiable. They're telling you that Blade's 4-star passive is reliant on you using Blade as a leader. As a leader. If you want to heal with a vampire, that is Blade, you actually have to sacrifice a 50% all attack buff from somebody like Nick Fury. If you were going to use Blade in World Boss, where is Nick Fury even? Like, am I passing him? I'm pretty sure I passed him already. But anyways, the point is, actually, no, I didn't. The point is, you're never going to use Blade's leadership, guys. You're never going to use this, which essentially means Blade no longer even has a 4-star passive. This was never any good to begin with, but think about it logically. Even if you're a super fan of Blade, now that Blade has defense down on his skills, can you guys honestly tell me you would use Blade's leadership over White Fox's leadership to increase his defense down so he does way more damage? Please tell me, would you? Any sane or rational person who plays this game would not use Blade's leadership. They would use White Fox. Or they would use Nick Fury's attack buff, 50% plus you get Nick Fury's passive. Or you use She-Hulk, 60% damage to all males. You would never use Blade's leadership. And if you're saying PvP is where you're going to want to use Blade, you wouldn't use Blade's leadership over somebody like Silver Surfer who's going to remove all debuffs and give you an attack increase, right? So essentially, Blade has no 4-star passive. How does that make sense? It's so stupid. Like, no one is going to buy a uniform for Blade just to use him in Shadowland. And that's literally the only place you would get to use his 4-star passive. And you wouldn't even need it because he has immunity, invincibility, and iframes. Yes, so you're probably not going to get hit in Shadowland. Sounds pretty stupid, right? So please go back and put the HP steal buff on one of his actual skills or just leave it on his 4-star passive and don't make it reliant on a leadership that nobody is going to use. And nobody can tell me that these guys are not playing the game so they don't know we're not using or ever going to need to use Blade's leadership. Because they are now doing sneak peek videos for uniforms where they're mimicking the teams that we use in World Boss. We saw it with Kamala Khan, where they basically use White Fox's leadership alongside Phil Coulson, and that's something the Star Creator has been doing for months. So they are watching their content and they're picking and choosing what they want to like implement and what they want to sell. Right? They see that defense down is a very easy thing to sell, so they start giving more and more characters defense down. I have no problem with that. However, you cannot tell me that anywhere, we're going to use HP Steel leadership for Blade over a Nick Fury attack buff or a White Fox defense down buff or a Silver Surfer Jean Grey freaking Thane leadership to remove debuffs. It's so dumb. It's actually so dumb. Like, I know I'm making a big deal about a vampire not having a heal, but I think that's a pretty big deal, right? Like, please, guys, please tell me. Anyways, 1 skill looks pretty cool, right? 2 skill looks pretty cool. There is no iframes on this. And by the way, the defense down on the 2 skill comes at the very, very end. You can see right there. So you have to let the entire skill play out. The good thing is because his immunity on the 3rd, by the way, iframe, not iframe, right? But because his immunity on the 3rd lasts for a little bit, you can use some of it to protect you. But you'll see that, let me get out of this. The immunity runs out before you get a chance to apply the defense down. So Blade is gonna take damage eventually. And there's skills that penetrate, right? So this is a really cool skill, by the way. But it kind of just looks like, look at the 1 skill. Look at the 1 skill, guys. Okay, look at the 2 skill. Okay, now look at the 5th skill. Does it not look like they just basically repurposed the same animation 3 times? Like, that's what it looks like to me. No offense, but that just seems hella lazy, bro. That's a pretty cool skill, and that's a full iframe. Well, there's some flickering there, but that's pretty much a full iframe, which is cool, right? Overall, I do think you're gonna use Blade much more than you were using him before, but it's kind of disappointing that they didn't at least make sure that he has a heal somewhere in his kit. Right, the HP steal leadership thing is pretty stupid. Right, moving on. Let's move on to, I guess, bigger and better things. Cause, yeah, Moon Knight, guys. Moon Knight. Excuse me, Sir Moon Knight the Legend. Excuse me, Mr. Sir Moon Knight the Legend. You wanna buy this? You wanna buy this? If this comes to the game like this. Now remember, for Blade's uniform bonus, they gave him 10% chain hit. Nothing else. Look at Moon Knight's uniform bonus. Change Moon's might, change Moon force, and then 40, not 10, 40, 40% chain hit damage. That's more than a CTP of energy. This is insane. Plus 50% increase to skill damage and 30% increase to bonus damage. This is mental. Just the uniform bonus alone is gonna make Moon Knight hit like a truck. But there's more. There is more. Moon Force. That's his 4-star passive. Wait, no. Let me show you guys something. Okay, that's his tier 2 passive. I'm getting it mixed up with Kamala's, like, because Kamala has the same thing, but it's a heal. At her 4-star, and hers is tier 2. Anyway, Moon Force, right? When Moon Knight's HP is below 30%, he recovers 30% of his max HP for 7 seconds. This was busted when it came into game because people wasn't hitting that hard back in the day, right? But as people got stronger, it wasn't enough anymore. But check this out. This freaking uniform for Moon Knight is actually mental, because what happens now is when you use Lunar Punishment, he immediately heals for 30% of his max HP. 7-second cooldown. Check this out. Cooldown on this skill, guys, is 11 seconds. So basically, every 7 seconds, you can heal 30% of your max HP. A vampire doesn't get a heal, but hello, Moon Knight, 30% of his max HP he can heal every 30 seconds. This man is gonna be damn near a god for PvE and PvP. Check this out. Immunity to guard break and decrease all damage received by 35%. Immunity to guard break on his passive. Passive. This is not something we see often. Usually people get super armor, but you know for PvP, you need immunity to guard break because there's lots of skills that can penetrate super armor. There's a few skills like Jean Grey's freaking Orb of Death, right, that can penetrate immunity to guard break, but for the most part, nothing else like can consistently guard break you until you die. This is so good. These two passives plus his uniform bonus makes Moon Knight honestly one of the best characters in the game already. But there's more. let me just say, Moon Knight is a free-to-play character. This is madness, right? So, one skill. He has stun and silence. Look out for a stun weak in ABX at sometime soon. Paralysis. Cool. Look out for a paralysis. Well, paralysis is already a thing. Anyways, paralysis weak coming soon. Anyways, we have on his third skill right here, we have 15% of his max HP every 5.5 seconds. You can use this skill every 5.5 seconds, and this skill triggers a heal for 30% of his max HP, and then you get another one here for 15% of his max HP. How you gonna kill Moon Knight if every 5.5 seconds he has 2 different abilities that are healing him? That's madness, bro. You kind of have to one-shot him, right? Plus he has damage reduction and immunity to guard break. It's just gonna be crazy dealing with Moon Knight, right? Plus there's an attack buff there, and honestly, man, there's more. Immunity, right? And then we have an attack buff here. 50% all attack and all defense, crit rate, all speed. Moon Knight is gonna be a monster, right? Moon Knight is actually gonna be a monster. I wouldn't be surprised if Moon Knight becomes better than like tier 3 characters even before he gets awakened, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Moon Knight just dunks on people like Wolverine, even at tier 2, like level 60. So much potential for greatness here. So let's take a look at the skill animations. First skill is an iframe, and the cooldown on it is very low, by the way. Okay, PvP viable. Second skill is an iframe at the beginning, and he creates a little bit of distance between himself. Just a little bit. You could definitely chain these 2 skills. Moon Knight definitely has PvP potential. But check the third skill. Also an iframe. Slight iframe, right? Slight iframe. So you could literally chain iframes with Moon Knight. 1, 2, 3. And the cooldowns on the... Let me check the third. The 1 and the 2, I know the cooldowns are very short, like 7 seconds and probably 9 seconds, I believe. So 1 skill, 7 seconds. 2 skills, 7 seconds. 3 skill, 11... Bro. Guys, 3.5 seconds, 3.5 seconds, 5.5 seconds. Wow. PvP viable? Most definitely, guys. Honestly. And then let's take a look at his 4th skill. This one, not very PvP viable, but remember, he has immunity to guard break, so if these shotgun blasts actually do damage, you could just body them, and you could eat some damage, but you could just heal up with one of his other skills, right? It's crazy, man. Actually nuts. Look at this. This shit is... Yo, if this man fix this time before he flexes on you, right? It's so good. Like, the animation for this skill is pretty much the same as what it was before. It just looks like there's more hits and it's faster. Alright? And I believe it's more concentrated. Quick animation. Anyways, and then this is his Awaken skill. He just pulls up on you, and it's just pure madness. Now, just like with Morbius, Elsa comes in, and she's the one that actually applies the defense down. And you can see, when she applies the defense down, it's at 7 seconds, but it doesn't start going down until the skill actually is about to end. So you get a good amount of damage off, right, before the defense down starts wearing off. See, it's still going. And then right there, when they're all like gathered together, you just jump into your 5th skill, or maybe even your 4th skill, then your 5th skill, right? Really, really good kit on Moon Knight. Moon Knight is going to be viable for pretty much everything. PvE, PvP, I definitely think Moon Knight is going to be viable for whatever you want him to do, right? I think this uniform is the Kamala Khan uniform of this update, right? Whereas Kamala Khan was super easy to play. As soon as you pick her up, she was just walking through World Boss. Also, look at the moon. Yeah, it's funny. They changed one of the O's to a half moon. It's cool. I didn't even see that till just now. I'm a sucker for the little things sometimes, right? I gotta give these guys praise when they deserve it. This Moon Knight uniform from top to bottom is absolutely fantastic, but the Blade uniform definitely needs a touch up, and they have 2 to 3 weeks depending on when it gets released to touch it up. So it's not like they don't have time to do it. They can definitely do it, and I hope they do. Moving on, let's take a look at another uniform that is a must buy. Ghost Rider, another character that's been at the bottom of the game. I am actually very happy that at least one of the two characters that was very, 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 very excited about getting a uniform is actually getting a very good uniform. Okay, this King of Hell uniform is so good. Like, look at the bike. Check the bike. Check the bike, boys. Check the suit. This shit looks fire. Damn, boys. Yo, y'all can't tell me Ghost Rider don't look sexy, bro. Like, look at the bike. Anyways, the flames need a little work though. You can kind of see when the animation like changes. Like, you can see the frames flicker in there, so they do have to like make the transition smoother on the bike flames for sure, because you can kind of see like it flickering like a hiccup, right? It's a little bit of an eyesore. Once you like notice it, you can never not notice it. Anyways, moving on. His uniform bonus, very bad. Honestly, like, I want to slap whoever decided that this was gonna be Ghost Rider's uniform bonus. I want to slap you right in the head, like just right in the back of the head, to like get your common sense tingling, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not spider sense, your common sense tingling, bro. Look at Ghost Rider's tier 2 passive. This is what it's buffing, right? Increase damage to supervillain types 120%. Decrease damage from supervillain types by 20%. Increase skill damage and bonus damage by 12% and 10%. Okay? Now let's go back and look at this freaking uniform for Ghost Rider and this uniform bonus. You deserve a slap in the back of the head, and whoever approved that uniform bonus, you deserve a slap too. Both of y'all. They increased this man's bonus damage and skill damage by 8% and 5% respectively. What are these guys on, bro? Like, this is why nobody should ever come here and be like, yo, I'm not fair. Because I give them praises when they deserve it, but I give them shit when this. If you are here to have me, listen, I know we're in the era where nobody wants the truth when the lie is more entertaining, but I'm not here for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you the truth, my truth, every single time. You don't want it, get up on out of here. This uniform bonus is pure garbage. But moving on. The rest of the upgrades though, they fire. No pun intended. Or pun intended. Anyways, we have stun and bind. Expect a bind week soon for ABX to make you for money. We have invincibility. Ghost Rider definitely needed a survivability buff, so I'm here for that. Moving on. The third skill, King's Gaze. This is something you're gonna see a lot. This shit is OP to the max. Fam, a lot of text here, and for good reason. So first and foremost, the Ghost Rider has iframe ignore now. You cannot escape the king. You are going to die, especially if you have evil in your heart. Check this out. So burn damage, so ABX, bind damage, future ABX weave, remove active buffs, and then 100, not 50, not 60, not 70, not 80, not 90, 100% chance to penetrate everything. Super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immunity, invincibility, and it has iframe ignore. You cannot hide. When Ghost Rider hits this skill, you are going to die if you are a villain. If you're a hero, if he's built well enough, you might still die too. Alright? So, check this out. He has invincibility on this skill as well, by the way. Right? Acquires the following effect for 0.1 second. Activation rate. When attacking a supervillain type enemy, increases the damage of the skill further by 250% for 3 seconds. So for the duration of the skill, you're going to do 250%. That's better than a freaking damage proc. So if you hit this on your damage proc, every supervillain, Thanos or not, bro, they probably going to die. So you're going to see like a Thanos charging up his tier 3 skill, ready to kill a Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider just fries ass. Yo, this is going to be so fun for PvP. It's not going to be fun when you die to it, but it's definitely going to be fun when you do it to people. Oh my gosh. By the way, the skill is an iframe. I've tested it, and I'll show it to you in a sec. So they cannot hit you unless they have iframe ignore, and you can penetrate everything, including their iframe, and just kill them in one shot. Ghost Rider is indeed OP to the max just off that skill alone. So we have bind and stun here. Expect a stun week in ABX. I'm definitely going to keep making that pun. And then we have invincibility here again. 3 different invincibility effects. I would have preferred if one of these were actually immunity, because if you're going up against Thanos and World Boss Ultimate, by the way, all the bosses in War Boss, they're super villains. And let's not forget that Ghost Rider's passive already makes him really strong against super villains. So this plus this is instant death, and I'm curious to see just how much damage he's going to be able to do in War Boss. Okay? Madness. Absolutely madness. So, anyways, back to the fifth skill. So, I would have preferred if one of these were immunity, as I was saying, because you can debuff invincibility and you cannot debuff immunity. You can penetrate immunity, but you can't debuff it and take it away completely. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. He does have the ability to decrease people's fire resistance. So, if you want to, you can actually use him with White Fox, Dr. Voodoo, Enchantress, etc. Right? And then he gives himself a 35% increase to his fire damage. All his skills are fire damage, so that's good. Plus, you can see for yourself a 25% all attack buff. So you combine the fire and the all attack, that's a 60% attack buff here on his fifth skill for 10 seconds. You can keep this thing up all the time. So that's just great. That's actually just great. The cooldown being so long and the invincibility only 5 seconds means you have to rely on your other invincibilities as well. But it's fine, man. Like, he doesn't have a heal, which I guess he could have had a heal, but it's all good. It's all good. I think Ghost Rider's place in PvP is definitely going to be there. Check this out. All right, cool. Let's take a look at the one skill. That's an iframe, by the way. Iframe, by the way. Iframe on low cooldown first and second skills are really good. This, yo. All right, I've been playing a lot of Grand Cross, bro. So seeing a man raise his arm like that and conjuring fire, bro. Escano sama. Cruel son. Yo, I swear, if you play Grand Cross, you know what up, bro. That's literally what that is, bro. Yo, that marble, chill. You see that? Yo, go try to on that scorpion deal. Look, check me out. Get over here. Now die. Yo, this is so good. This is so good because he has invincibility, which means you can't guard break him because it's invincibility, right? If you're well, actually, you can't even hit him because it's an instant iframe, and then he just fries your brains. So good. Yo, look at the man pull up on the bike and flexes on you. This is so good, man. Look at this. Whistles. Just on your ass and then toasted. Honestly. Yo, they gave Blade the budget icons and then they gave everything to... Look at this, man. Yo, Ghost Rider becomes like Hellboy. What the hell, bro? Look at this. Look at the horns, bro. Hello? Like, let's not even mention the fact that he has a crown on his head. Like, he's the king of... Where's Mephisto? Anyways, he's the king of hell. Look at this shit, bro. So good, man. Listen. Anybody ever tell me I'm not fair when it comes to, like, giving these guys respect when it's due? Come on, man. Ghost Rider, banging. Moon Knight, banging. Blade leaves much to be desired. So, we're going to wrap it up right here. Sorry for the long video, but these guys, honestly, they've long deserved new uniforms, and I wanted to give them a proper little review, I guess, preview, because we can't really take them into content because we cannot buy the uniform on the APK because they're not final yet. So everything could be changed. Hopefully, the one thing that does change is a heal in Blade's kit, or if not, hopefully his uniform just hits really hard so you just kill people really fast and you never need the heal. But I do think, like, bro, it's been a long time since I've read anything with Blade in it. I might need to go touch up on it, but when has Blade been healing people? This should never have been a leadership from the beginning. It should have just been in his kit to heal himself, right? So that's just dumb to me. Anyways, hopefully she gets a uniform, because I guess they're testing the waters to see if people will actually awaken characters with old uniforms, because then they can just be really lazy and just give her a copy paste awaken skill and then get money out of your pocket because you still want to awaken, right? Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about Moon Knight's awaken skill. Good thing I didn't send you off yet. So he has paralysis for 1 second, and he has oh yeah, we did show it off in the preview, but we did talk about it. 70% all defense down, so kind of like Mystique, same as Morbius, And then he has crit rate, crit damage, ignore dodge, invincibility, debuff removal, and then, whew, yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. It's going to be really, really interesting to see where Moon Knight sits after this update. I'm definitely telling you guys, he's going to be viable for anything, regardless of how you build him. Because of the chain hit, you give him any CTP, any custom gear, and he's just going to hit really, really hard. All right, so catch you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Let me know what else you want to see from me. Peace.